Now what you want to do, if you think, yeah, that looks pretty good, you want to open your door and make sure the door is not rubbing on it. And you see it's a radius corner door, so it's not going to tear it, but it can still wear on it over time. And that's not bad. You might go up one more, two more. Now, Chris, if you can get a tight shot right here on this side, come around this other side. Can you get those holes? You see this pin this pin is connected to this rod, or this handle. I'm in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th hole. So when I go to the back, let's go to the back. We should be a couple of holes lower in the back, and I'll show you why. So we should be in 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now see, it still looks pretty level, but technically we're 2 notches down further on this side. So all the water is going to run off the awning to the back. Typically you back into a campsite, so you're going to park up front, your door's up front. You don't want the water running off the front and have to have all the kids walking through a mud puddle to get inside the trailer. So you tip it as much as you're comfortable with. You tip it to the back. Now, if we're set up camping, we've got our awning out, everything's cool, but we're gonna go away for the rest of the day. I don't want to leave it out like this, because if a storm blows up, a quick heavy hitting thunderstorm in the middle of summer, that air can come underneath and it can blow that away. What you really should do, if this is the adjustment that you're happy with, take a Sharpie marker and just circle the holes that you're in. Then you can very quickly, every time you set up camp, just go right to those holes. But if it's going to rain, you're not going to be there to put the awning down. Just grab it in about 30 seconds and put it in the down position. Now they make awning tie downs, which I would highly recommend. And at this point, you would tighten it up. It's just a couple strings that go down to like a little dog tie at the ground. I think it's called a happy hook. Give your sales rep a call, he'll get you one of those out right away. You need those on each side. You would loosen it, you drop these, you tighten it. Now this is locked in this position. It's hard for wind to get up underneath here, and no rain is ever going to hold on top of this. Now if you forgot to put it down, I've seen these in the up position, and the fabric is almost to the ground with about 500 gallons of water in it. I've seen that happen. I've seen people make two big mistakes. One is they poke a hole in that fabric with a knife. The problem with that, yes, the fabric's already trashed because you've stretched it beyond use. Putting a hole in it isn't the problem. Putting a hole in it releases all that pressure immediately, and it'll rip the whole awning off the side of the coach. The other thing they try and do is put this arm down. Again, that releases all the pressure at the same time, and it's going to pull the whole awning off the roof. If you get water trapped in it, the only thing you can do is get underneath it and just keep working it out. Okay, that's going to be if you forgot it in the up position. And it's got a big belly of water. Get underneath it. It's not going to hurt you. And just kind of work it out a little bit at a time. The fabric might be stretched beyond use, but you can put a new fabric in an existing awning, so that won't be as big a deal. The fabric's going to cost you $250 maybe. The whole awning might cost you close to $1,000. So you want to save this awning. This being a fiberglass trailer, if we rip everything loose from the trailer, it could tear our fiberglass too. So now you could be in thousands of dollars. So if you do forget to leave it and you leave it up, the storm hits, you got a bunch of water in it, get underneath and work it out. To put it back up, you're just going to do the opposite. You're going to loosen the knob again. Pull that loose. Make sure it latches in the bottom. Do the same to the other side. this awning strap can come out, okay? And a lot of people like to take it out. The reason I don't take it out when I camp is if a storm blows in real fast, while you're searching for this, the awning's blown onto the other side of your trailer. So that's why I say leave it in there. And what most people do is just wrap it around just to get it out of the way. And then right at the end, tie a little knot, and it's out of your way. You don't know it's even there. But then if you need it, it's right there. So get this back out of the way. We're putting it back up. You'll loosen this knob. Pull that loose. Hook it down at the bottom. Now, I did everything myself. And you can continue to do everything yourself, but this is a spot where it doesn't hurt to have one extra person hold the strap. Okay, but I'll show you that it can be done all by yourself. When you look, again, remember we said roll up, roll down? We're going to roll up now. So we're going to take this, move it to the up position. Now here's a little trick. If this has been out for a week, it's overextended. See, that wind's caught it and it's gotten tight. People have a hard time pushing this to the roll up position. And it seems like about 6 out of 10 times somebody will finally get the smart idea to put a big wrench on there and snap it off. All you have to do, it's like the clutch in a car. When it won't go into gear, you kind of let the clutch out a little bit and it'll slip into gear. That's all this is the clutch. So if you kind of lean down on that bar, put a little weight on it, and rotate this forward, see how easy that clips then? All it was because I rotated this forward a little bit. So lean on it, rotate it, bring it forward, hang on to it, it's not that heavy. Get it back up. If you're short, you need the rod, that's fine. When you get it about a foot from the top, let it go. It's going to hit, you're going to think it's hitting a little hard, but that's how it seats itself down. About right there. Okay, that's okay. I wouldn't let it go from clear back here. And if the strap's wet, sometimes it'll pull right out of your hand, so wrap it around your wrist a little bit. Go back down the road, go above and below that travel lock, and squeeze. I locked it right back in. Tighten that knob. All this knob does is just keeps it from jiggling around and chattering on the way down the road. Same thing down here. Above and below the lock, squeeze, pops that in, lock it, tighten it up, everything's good and tight, you can go down the road. All right, one last thing on the outside that I forgot about before. This is the exhaust vent for the fan over the range, over the cooktop. What you have to do is just pull these little locks down, and then this will open and that fan can exhaust. Now the reason you want the locks on is because at night when you're at a campground, you don't want to hear this thing beating back and forth. And when you're driving down the road, you don't want it to beat back and forth. If you don't lock it, you're going to call me and say, hey, I lost that flap in there. And honestly, that's not something that's covered by a manufacturer's warranty. So all you have to do is just remember to lock that up. What I would do is get a checklist together, rewatch this video a couple times, put a checklist together of the things that you do on the outside of the coach